and the divine intervention for the peace of the nation.
But I urge you to always remember what the Word of God says. Fear not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am your thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will uphold thee.
Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
Senate President David Mark has pleaded with Nigerians to do whatever it takes to ensure that the peace being enjoyed across the country during the Yuletide is sustained beyond the 2015 elections. He was addressing worshippers at St. Monica's Catholic Church, Otada, near Otukpo, Benue State, to mark the last Sunday of the year. National Assembly correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The Senate President, who acknowledged the adequate security measures and the interfaith cooperation during the Yuletide, believes that if this is sustained, terrorism and insurgency will be contained. He said what Nigeria desires now is peace, love, unity of purpose, and prayers against forces of evil ahead of the forthcoming elections. Senator Mark said the activities of Boko Haram in particular clearly shows that they do not represent anything good.
I read a few days ago that a man gave his daughter out to Boko Haram. How on earth can anybody contemplate this? But the devil is at work. The only thing is that the devil will never succeed, and God and love will triumph over the devil. So amongst all of us, this is an opportunity for us to ask God to give us the grace, to ask for peace and for love.
In a sermon, Reverend Father Kenneth Ode urged Nigerians, irrespective of faith, to resort to prayers as the potential weapon against the challenges confronting Nigeria. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Similarly, Christians have been reminded that one of the tripod start of the church is exaltation and worship of God, who called believers out of darkness to the marvelous light of his Son, Jesus Christ. This was part of the message by Pastor Michael Olatunde of Christ Apostolic Church at a service in Abuja. Correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
This year's annual Thanksgiving service focused on praising God. The officiating priest of the church, Pastor Olatunde, quoting the scripture from the book of John 4:24, reminded Christians that it is the duty of believers to always worship God with thanksgiving.
In everything that man does, we need to give thanks unto the Lord. If you have a problem, give thanks to the Lord. God knows the source of everything in man's life.
We need to be very, very serious in praying.
The end of each year is a good time to invite our friends, our business partners, and our well-wishers to join us in praising God for his love, for his mercy, and faithfulness.
And I thank God for the family, for the business.
The minister also offered prayers for workers and other members of the church that the year ahead will be better than the year under review. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
Nigerians have been urged to look forward in the year 2015 with gratitude, faith, and perform their civic responsibilities. Reverend Israel Akonji of First Baptist Church made the call at a church service in Abuja.
Taking his scripture from the book of Psalm 23, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under God's shadow.
The shadow of death is not our destination. We are going beyond it. We will come out of the valley. We will get a table prepared before us, and we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
The elections at hand will be peaceful, and Nigeria will be at peace. There will be no violence.
He
also said since 2015 is a year of great expectation, Nigerians should look up to God, knowing that he will not allow Nigeria to disintegrate. It is now time to pause for some messages. Panorama will be back shortly. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo has urged members of the People's Democratic Party to support the candidature of those that won the party's primary election to enable PDP administration continue to deliver dividend of democracy to Nigerians at all levels. The Vice President stated this during a meeting with stakeholders of PDP in Kaduna. Correspondent Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun reports.
Leadership of the People's Democratic Party, members of the state legislature and candidates vying for various elective posts under the PDP gathered, though a fulfillment of the tradition of the PDP to constantly meet and deliberate on issues affecting the party and other national issues. This meeting, like the previous convened by Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo in Lagos and Zamfara states, aimed at further congratulating winners in the just concluded primary elections of the PDP and reconcile with aspirants who could not make it. Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo commended the peaceful conduct of party primaries in the state, promising to continue to carry all members along beyond 2015 general elections. He therefore enjoined party members to actively campaign for PDP at all levels.
This People's Democratic Party meeting today has confirmed to me, and I have seen it clearly and truly, that we are the same family, we are that strong family. It is only PDP having today in Kaduna State and in Nigeria that from the state, local government to ward level and to polling units, that we have a full strong unit in all the federation. And this is strong and stronger in Kaduna State. And inshallah, we will come with victory in 2015.
Governor Mukhtar Malenyero of Kaduna State, the deputy chairman of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Isiaku Aliyu, say the party is intact in the state and advised members to work towards maintaining the status of the PDP in Kaduna State and Nigeria in general.
By the grace of God, we have seen a lot of progress, and all of them are intact, or all of us are intact, and we are sure that we are going to work hard to ensure victory in the 2015 election, all through, right from the presidential election up to the state House of Assembly's election.
The meeting resolved to intensify door-to-door campaign to achieve victory in 2015 general elections. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party National Campaign Council Southwest has agreed to work assiduously to make the second-term bid of President Jonathan come to reality in the 2015 general elections. This was contained in a communique signed and issued at the end of the council's meeting held in Akure, the Ondo state capital. Toyin Batire reports that the meeting attracted the bigwigs of PDP in the Southwest.
The communique, which was read by the governor of Ondo State and coordinator PDP National Campaign Council in the Southwest, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, said that Nigeria has recorded remarkable growth virtually in all sectors of the economy, which is attributed to the giant strides of President Goodluck Jonathan, and for this, it deserves a second term. The communique, which commended President Jonathan for yielding to the party's bid to run as the presidential candidate of the party, charges Nigerians to vote for President Jonathan and avoid dictatorship.
We run an issue-based campaign, and there is no question about the fact that we have a good product. Nobody can deny the fact that President Jonathan has given a good feeling to agriculture. Our trends are moving again.
Some of the delegates, including the governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Ayo Fayose, said victory for President Jonathan and all the PDP candidates in the 2015 general elections is a victory for the common man. The inaugural meeting of the PDP National Campaign Council Southwest is aimed at strategizing on how to deliver the Southwest for PDP in the 2015 general elections and make possible and genuine reconciliation of the aggrieved party members. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
And still on political matters, PDP support groups in Niger State, including women and youths, have pledged continued support for the party ahead of the 2015 general elections. The two-day event, organized by the Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development, Asmau Asabi Ahmed, took place at the Idris Lego Kutigi Conference Center. Fatima Usman reports.
The town hall meeting is aimed at sensitizing women and youth groups as well as the representatives of non-governmental organizations to the importance of voting as a tool to credible leadership. The event was also a platform to canvass for continued support to the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming elections. Niger State Governor Dr. Mu'azu Babangida Aliyu recounted the achievements of the People's Democratic Party, noting that the party will achieve more with youth participation. Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development Asabi Ahmed, who emphasized the importance of women in nation building, described the representation of women in the present administration, both at the state and federal levels, as the best in the history of the country.
When women say they are with you, they keep their promise. I want to advise women to go out and pick their permanent voters' cards.
Wife of the Niger State Governor Haji Ajumai Babangida Aliyu called on women to ensure they obtain their voter cards and come out during the elections to support PDP. Other stakeholders, including Aisha Babangida, Hajia Dijabala, and members of the State House of Assembly, took turns to advocate proper representation of women. The special advisor to the President on Youth and Student Matters, Jude Imagwe, said President Goodluck Jonathan has done so much in terms of job creation, employment, and youth empowerment. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Losing out at the PDP in Nasarawa State West senatorial contest in the recent party's primaries, Senator Abubakar Sodengi has demonstrated a rare spirit of sportsmanship by appealing to his supporters to remain resolute with the party. He made the appeal in Nasarawa town when he met with his campaign coordinator for a post-mortem of the exercise. Correspondent Agatha Joseph Obioha completes the story.
Senator Sodengi said, though he lost out, he remained a committed member of the party and ready to work for its success at all levels.
I will continue to support the PDP cause and see how much will uplift the suffering of the people.
Party supporters spoke on the way forward.
My one advice to them, we should all be patient and let us remain resolute to obey PDP and propagate PDP and work for PDP.
Senator Sodengi contested with 4 other contestants in a bid to return to national legislation, where he was from 1999 to 2011 and left a record of collecting bargain to gain for his people. From Kefi, Agatha Joseph Obioha, NTA News.
Curbing the rising rate of road mishaps on Nigerian highways was the focus of today's episode of NTA's Breakfast and Current Affairs program, Good Morning Nigeria. Most guests on the program were particularly concerned over the use of cell phones while driving, stressing that the practice has become ugly, resulting in increasing road accidents. Ngufan Shaji tells us more.
It's one of the most necessary components of modern age subsistence, but an undeniably strong form of distraction during driving and going by recent reports, a major cause of increased accidents along Nigerian highways. This was a consensus among all of the guests on the breakfast show Good Morning Nigeria, who all agree that the practice is extremely dangerous and puts drivers 4 times at risk of a crash.
The moment you are not concentrated as a driver, once that concentration is out of you, in fact, it tends to crash.
Clamping down on violators of road traffic rules and regulations is part of the mandate of the Federal Road Safety Commission.
It all boils down to that change of attitude. And road safety is saying, road safety indeed is a shared responsibility.
While sensitizations are currently being stepped up to curb excesses among drivers and road users, the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, has also raised concern over the continued presence of badly maintained vehicles on the highways. President of the association, Kazim Bataya, said badly maintained vehicles are the second largest cause of road accidents in Nigeria. He added that the association has taken up responsibility of sensitizing its members.
Most of the markets, motor parks, depot and refineries where drivers are parking to load, we always give them a training, just at least 10 minutes training every day before a driver take off.
In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Nigeria is today faced with natural and human-induced disasters, especially terrorism, communal clashes and ethno-religious, which has led to the loss of lives and many displaced. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports that the Goza people of Borno State who fled to Abuja have been receiving help from some well-spirited Nigerians in the new Kuchigoro internally displaced persons camp in Abuja.
The new Kuchingoro internally displaced persons camp, started by the displaced persons themselves, has no any basic social amenity to make the people comfortable.
62-year-old Ali Fambia have not crossed any international border to become a refugee, but that is the life he is living here.
The Boko Haram problem stopped now. We are going back to our home. If it is not because of some peoples and organizations and churches that used to help us, we doesn't have anything much to eat here.
As it is believed that the issue of security and its effects cannot be left to government alone, Ambassador Emmanuel Otiotio Foundation, in collaboration with Every Nation Nigeria, decided to come to their aid with clothing, food and other valuables.
It is our responsibility, whether you are in government, whether you are privileged to be a business person, whatever you are, you must not close your ears to the cry of the needy. If we work as a team with our governments, we'll be able to provide succor in society.
Carrying out a medical outreach which encompasses counseling, blood tests, blood sugar test, malaria test, HIV, and all that, so as to be able to reach out to them both medically, spiritually, and materially.
Ambassador Emmanuel Otiotio, however, called on other humanitarian agencies for urgent action to alleviate the sufferings of the displaced population and hope that in a short distant time, the nation will win the war against terror. In Abuja, Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The volume of trade between Nigeria and Britain is over £7 billion, almost double the figure in 2011. This growth, Nigeria's Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Dr. Elhatu Sarki Tafida, attributed it to the diversification and incentives provided foreign investors by President Jonathan's administration. The High Commissioner stated this at the mission's annual end-of-year reception in London. Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye reports.
The event was one for stock-taking as well as projection for the coming year 2015, which Dr. Dalhatu Sarikitafida says looks bright and promising for Nigeria that has achieved a lot in the outgoing year 2014 in spite of some challenges. He also appreciated the staff and representatives of Nigerians in the UK and Europe to the national conference.
We'll also bring in additional innovation with context of our community in the consular section. All these efforts are geared towards bringing us closer to our compatriots.
15 deserving staff, home-based and those belonging to the category of diplomatic staff support services, were honored for their hard work, diligence and outstanding service. Recipient of Staff of the Year Award, Layo Akinfala, on behalf of other recipients, promised that their best is yet to be seen. It was also an evening of encomiums for Nigeria High Commission and a diplomat, Mr. Sam Adelemi, former head, Trade, Investment and Industry, who, having completed his 3 years mandatory foreign service post to the United Kingdom, is returning back home to Nigeria. In line with President Goodluck Jonathan's transformation program, Dr. Dalhatu Sarikitafida says the Nigeria High Commission United Kingdom will continue to improve on its service delivery in the coming year 2015. In London, Bilkisu Abdurazak Uduoyi, NTA News.
And talking sports, the 6th edition of the Governor's Belt, which is usually the last boxing hall of fame in the year, was held at the Okoya Thomas Sports Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, as Aba City concludes second half marathon race, plus results of week 18 of the Barclays Premier League. Adeola Omokive has more on sports updates.
The Boxing Hall of Fame, which is the 59th in its series and the initiative of the Lagos State Governor, Babatunde Fashola, has the sole aim of discovering future boxing champions. This year's Governor's Belt had boxers from Ghana and Ogun State also competing. There were 8 bouts in different weight categories. The first match of the night had Nigerians Dauda Aziz declared winner over Ghana's Suleiman Tesh.
Dauda Aziz of Nigeria recording the first victory for Nigeria.
Governor Fashola later presented a trophy and gift to the Ghanaian boxer and decorated the Nigerian with the championship boxing belt. And from Aba, Linda Uswala reports that the Aba Marathon, the 2nd edition, featured athletes from Ethiopia, Kenya and Ghana, as well as a pregnant woman. Organizers say the city of Aba is gradually becoming a destination for marathoners.
I'm also encouraged by the fact that in Nigeria defeated Ethiopians. You know, that's very encouraging. This program has entered the official calendar of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria.
And to the Barclays Premier League results for matches played Sunday, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Queen's Park Rangers recorded barren draws. Chelsea and Manchester City also drew their matches, while Leicester City and Arsenal had maximum 3 points in their away matches.
And just before we go, remember, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And that's our package today on News Panorama. Join us at 4 for Nationwide. Good afternoon.